Hello and welcome. So we got a job today, and the job today is that next week, this week, they're forecast about 180 mil of rain. So we have nice clear blue skies at the moment, a few clouds, puffy clouds around. But the problem we have here is that we got a water problem in our shed, and the water problem in our shed is caused by the people who built this place, who we bought it off, put the water tanks out here, but they also built the shed lower than the ground level. So I don't know whether you can see it properly because of the change in light, but our next shed height is, as you can see, quite a bit higher, which makes it higher than the ground level. So and the shed slope's quite high. But here, if you look down here, you can see that this ground here is higher than the edge of the shed. So what happens is the water just comes off here, goes down there, and it's been sitting down here in the shed, and it's been sitting down here, and it's just flowed through the shed. So of course once it gets on the concrete, it's got a nice little spot to flow. So what I've done here is I've done two things, or three things. So we do have a drain going out this way down into there, and that's dug down out in there. This place used to be a swamp when we got here. Now it's quite dry. But what happens is when it rains, these tanks overflow, and they're full of water at the moment. So they're quite full, and the water is just going to come off the roof, and it's a big roof. This shed's 22 by 18, so it's quite a big shed, 22 metres long, 18 metres wide. So the water all comes to this side through the pipes, so that water will be coming over this side. Now because the tanks are already full, that water has got to go somewhere out in the ground, and so what I've done is I've dug a spoon drain out here, and I'm filling it with gravel. So I'm just filling all this with gravel. I'm trying not to move the camera too quick for you, because otherwise I have a habit of moving it quick. So I'll fill this up with gravel from here, and that'll act as a drain along here and allow the water to go out. Now from this point here on, I've got really coarse gravel, because what I've done is I was able to get the trench digger in here up to here, but I couldn't get it any further here because we got a problem here. So it looks like we've got a leak there as well. I better fix that. Yeah. Otherwise we'll have 3,000 litres running out over the ground. But that's as far as I could get the trench digger up to here. So because this tank is closer to the wall than the other, as you can see there, I just nudged up to the wall here and actually put it in the wall, because trying to get it up as far as I could, but I just couldn't get it. And from here down to the end of the shed, there's a 500, we started near 300 up there, and down here we're 600 mil down, or a bit over half a metre down, and then we go down there over to there, and we meet up with the drain that I dug previous, which goes down there and under the wall. So that previous drain is 600 mil down. This one here meets up with it right here, and this one here continues down and goes down under here, and down here, and down in this section here, I've got two big sump tanks all full of gravel. I got nearly half a metre of gravel in each one, and each one, there's a first one, then I put an ag pipe between them, and then about halfway up, and then there's the second one. So one gets half full, drains into the next one and stuff like that, so it can take the water away, so that this is quite deeply covered, so that the water can't come back up from there back up to here, but hopefully that disperses all the water if ever we get a flood. So bear in mind that the flood height here in the 22 flood was this high. So we're 250 nearly above the previous flood height with the wall. So we should be pretty safe from the river flood. We just stopped these tanks flooding the shed. I have no idea why someone would actually go about building putting the water tanks higher than the shed, knowing that they definitely got overflow, and why they would build a shed slab lower than the ground level. But these things here are all things that we have to fix in our first year. Bearing in mind that we've only been on this property for 1 year. The previous owners, we couldn't even find those tanks. The grass was higher than the tanks, the weeds and that were overgrown higher than the tanks. So we've had a lot of work to do, and we're sort of getting overwhelmed because a little bit sometimes, because every time we get a big storm, we need to know what our issues are and where the problems are lying, so that then we can fix those problems. At the moment we're doing quite well. We're on top of most of everything now. So we've got this flood wall goes completely around the 6 acres. Almost semicircles. We have a section at the other end and across the other end of the road and down the road end, where we don't think we have an issue because the water goes down through the neighbour's paddock first and then was coming in here, but it would just flow past. So we have no issues with that. But we know all our other neighbours are all put up big flood walls. So there's a big bund wall around that shed. There's a bund wall over there. There's a bund wall around that house. There's a 4+ kilometre bund wall on the property on the other side now. All of this that we never had 12 months ago. But we're slowly getting there. If you're wondering why we used with sweepers, what they do is they use the C-channel, the back-to-back C-channel for their posts and things like that. We chose to use the sweepers. 1, it was far easier. 2, it's probably a lot stronger. 3, we don't have anything to worry about corroding under the ground. 4, it's easier to put in. We can seal it up easier. It's stronger because those C-channels are just a bit of steel. The only strength is in the centre beam. And with this here, really and truly, we never have to worry about these here, because not only are they cement sweepers, but they're cemented into the ground. So that's what we're jobs today.